This is the Tango Alpha Lima podcast.
They call me crazy cause I'm facing all my giants. They try to scare me into thinking I can fight it. They tell me I should never even think of trying. But that's just me, I'm gonna live out in defiance.
Alphas, welcome to Tampa, Florida.
That's right. We're at the 106th National Convention, Tampa, Florida. And where are we at, Joe? The exhibit hall.
Yeah, we're in the exhibit hall here. We've got our pod behind us and a bunch of people that we're looking forward to talking to. So let's get this party started.
Let's go.
Woo! Hey, everybody. We are here with Missy and Kylie of the Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. Is that right? Your name's right? Did I get it right? I did it right. Perfect.
So proud of you.
I know. It's always a gamble.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit. Where did you come in from?
So we actually am with Amazing Animals. We're a nonprofit animal preserve in Orlando, so we're not too far away. We've got a handful of animals that we brought out here to say hi to everybody today.
What animals specifically did you bring with you?
So we have a couple of cute little scaly ones. We've got a little snake and a little baby alligator. You've got an alligator when you're in Florida.
Yes.
Listen, I'm in South Carolina. I know Joe's in Georgia.
Yeah, I'm in Georgia.
We've got gators. I've never put cuddly, scaly, and gator in the same
sentence. They're so cute. He loves his head rubbed. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to come say hi to the little gator.
Are you going to change my mind about it then?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, I will. But we also have a parrot, the lilac-crowned Amazon, and then a 3-banded armadillo, and then what everyone's probably waiting for, we do have a 2-toed sloth with us today as well.
Oh, nice.
What? Now, sloths happen to be my favorite exotic animal, and just something about them makes me flutter. What's the difference between sloths? There are different types, right?
There's actually 7 different species of sloths. So there's 2 types of 2-toed sloths, and there's 5 types of 3-toed sloths. So we have with us a Linnaeus 2-toed sloth today.
What's the most dangerous sloth?
They're actually kind of dangerous animals.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, they can actually move really fast.
Where they want
And
to.
they
I'll
have
be terrified.
They have really sharp teeth. Have you ever seen a sloth's teeth?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, they're kind of terrifying.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are they
I have a
herbivores or
respect
omnivores?
now.
Like,
They are herbivores, but they've got predators out there that they have to defend themselves with. And then also having sharp teeth helps them break off like the branches and the leaves that they're going to be eating. But their teeth are very impressive.
Seems like wearing a green shirt would be dangerous then.
Maybe a little bit.
We'll find out.
His favorite, which I brought lots for him today, he loves corn on the cob.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
I like Mexican corn. I don't think he would like that as
I
much.
don't think all the spices
No.
would be
well,
so good for him.
speaking of Mexican corn, going down to the Southwest, armadillos really, I mean, we have some that live in my backyard. They're constantly tearing up my yard. But I've always thought of
digging holes in your
Yes.
backyard.
And they don't listen to reason. I've tried talking to them.
And I have horses, so of course they're on my mind for like EPM and leprosy and all the things that they carry. It's funny because I was born in Texas and I've always associated armadillos with that region. But now that they're coming to the Southeast, how did they get here, or were they always here?
They've been here because, you see those kind of, so there's about 20 different species of armadillos. So the ones that we have here in the U.S. are the 9-banded armadillos, and they're throughout Mexico, South America, and then I actually saw a report recently they're even getting up to Indiana. So I think they're just kind of being able to adapt to some of the colder regions as well. So we do have a lot of them here in Florida. The species that I have with me today is a 3-banded armadillo. So they're actually a bit smaller, and they're found in Brazil, and they do not carry things like leprosy. So they're much safer to interact
You
with.
mean I'm not going to go home and my nose isn't going to fall off my face?
No, we should be good with
Not
the 3-banded
again.
armadillo.
I know. Well, this is my 3rd nose. I can't be getting
You
in
just go through
proximity.
noses like nobody I've ever seen.
The first one was taken off by the sloth. The second one was leprosy. What about you? Where are you from?
I am from Omaha, Nebraska. That is where Mutual of Omaha is headquartered. So, yeah, we're excited to be here. This is probably our 15th year at the American Legion Conference. We really enjoy partnering with the Legion. The two companies have a lot of synergies. We're both over 100-year-old organizations. We both are very conservative. We're here for the people. We're really all about bringing people together and helping one another. So we are always very excited and honored to get to come to this event and work with veterans and all the different branches of service, young and old. And we've been bringing the animals now for about 4 years. And it's getting more and more recognized.
Okay.
So we're really excited. And then to have some of the fun stuff that we brought, that Kylie's brought today, we're really looking forward to.
Veterans are interesting because it does take a little while for them to warm up. But buddy, when they warm up, they're hot. I mean, they're the moment they realize that you're here for the right reasons and you bring some value, they just love on you like nobody's business. So we're happy to have you here.
So you said you're from Omaha. Fun fact: my first studio station was off at Air Force Base.
Yes, I'm very familiar with it. I was married to an Air Force person for 20 years, so we traveled the country and we met in Omaha. He was stationed at Offutt.
Are you a member of the auxiliary?
I am an auxiliary member. I have been a member for about 15 years. I have a fun fact. I have a 6-year-old grandson, and he has been a son since he was born.
Wow,
so he's
that's
a 6-year
cool.
member at Post 1 in Omaha. Yes.
He was the first in Omaha?
No, he was just
okay.
born. He's 6 years old, and
Got it.
he
Okay.
became a member right when he was born. I signed him up.
That's cool.
Do you have a military affiliation?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
Well,
my
you do
cousin,
now.
yeah, my cousin was in the military.
That's
actually.
good enough.
Yeah, he was.
I
a
would
pilot
call
for
that
the Marines.
affiliated.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know too much in depth of military.
I mean, I think if you've even got friends that have joined, I mean, once you have that emotional connection, it never goes away.
No, my cousin definitely. I just don't know all the inner workings of military bases.
Even
and
the
all
people in
that
the
stuff.
military don't know the inner workings of it, so don't worry. Like, nobody
so
on earth knows what a warrant officer does. Even them. So,
I don't think it's really quite defined.
Yeah.
They
I don't
walk
think
around
it
with a
is.
clipboard and shake their head a
yeah,
lot.
and they run ranges, but no one knows that they're supposed to. I don't know.
So what's great about animals, in my opinion, I have a service dog. Joe has a service dog as well. And I have horses at home. I just find that they're emotionally transformative. There's something about being able to be your genuine self because there's no judgment, right?
Yes.
Have you found in your experience in with your history with the American Legion and coming and participating in the conventions that you see faces change or expressions change when they're exposed to animals of all kinds?
Absolutely. To your point. Service animals, first of all, I mean, what a wonderful thing to have. But when people come through and see our animals, they become immediately attached to just that situation for a moment. They're enjoying themselves. They're enjoying the connection. They're enjoying, just being here. I've also seen some younger children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren at times that will come through. And it's a wonderful experience for the veterans and their family members to come in. It's an experience that they can take away a photo and a lifelong memory, and something that they can share when they go back home. It's been wonderful.
How about at your place?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we do is we love making that connection with people and wildlife. And our real focus, too, is to make sure that we're making that connection so that people get inspired to take better care of our ecosystems. Our motto is to inspire people to do something amazing for the natural world. So, you definitely see it every time someone gets to get up close with an animal, whether it be a snake or a sloth. And they're making that connection with them. And it definitely sparks something. You see lots of smiles, lots of pictures being taken. And we really hope that, again, it kind of, forages that into people thinking about our impact and taking good care of our ecosystems and our planet so that all of our animals can have a future for many years to come. So it's kind of cool to see that spark that gets made every time you bring an animal out to people.
So, quick question: if someone were to acquire an armadillo, would that be from you? Would that be a civil or a criminal situation that they would be dealing with hypothetically?
Well, I would definitely probably call if someone tried to take one of my armadillos.
I think we should sneak a gator into your bag, my friend.
With food, and it came to me.
Well, so you would have to have permits. So that could be number
permits.
one. Yeah, Florida Fish and Wildlife.
So, I'm out.
You do need
It
some
comes with
wildlife
a side of
permits
leprosy
those.
for you, Joe.
I've already lost one body part. We're going to hang on to the rest of them.
So right now, the American Legion is doing the USA 250 challenge, where they can volunteer, exercise, a number of really different things to rack up hours. And I was thinking when you were talking about environmental awareness, what can Legion Post do as a group to earn those hours, something fun and unique to help the environment and the animals around?
I personally love like going to do like a beach cleanup or a park cleanup. Who doesn't? We're in Tampa right now. Who doesn't love going and having a beach day? I think a nice goal, if you go to the beach, take a trash bag with you and bring a full trash bag of trash back with you. Those little things, when we start, doing those more and more, we start making a big impact. So little things like that could be an awesome thing. Doing, a planting tree day kind of thing would be awesome. Anything like that, I think, would be a really fun way to get people out there involved and making a good impact on our ecosystems.
I mean, if everybody does a little, we do a lot.
Correct, 100%. Yeah,
I like that.
It's just changing people's thought process just a little bit, just making you think a little bit like, how can I do better? I really love meeting that sloth. What could I do to make sure that sloth's doing okay in the wild? Yeah.
People think that one person can't really make a difference, but you can literally be the one. You can be the person that 100%. Inspires other people. I think, as veterans especially, but I think a lot of people, you run into people you've had an impact on that you had no clue. Mm-hmm. So you don't realize you're having a core memory sometimes until years later when you're like, 100%. I just cannot get that conversation out of my head. Uh-huh. And so, I think that what you're doing is one of those things that has that lasting impact that I'm sorry, you meet a sloth, you meet an armadillo, you're an alligator that you won't see later, you're going to miss it.
Yeah. You're going to remember it.
You remember it forever. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, where can Alphas find you? Do you have a website? It's social media?
Yeah, we have a website. It's www.amazinganimalsinc.org. And then we're on all the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, MySpace.
Vine.
Yes, for sure.
But
we're just
AOL
Amazing Animals
rooms.
Inc. Yes, we're throwing it back. YouTube, we don't post too much on YouTube anymore, but we try. It's hard to keep up with all the social medias and have 100 animals to care for.
How about the Mutual Omaha? Where can Alphas find you?
Yes, you can simply go to mutualsomaha.com.
Okay.
Pretty simple. We have a very large website out there with lots of different items that are available to Legionnaires.
Great.
TV show.
A TV,
Well,
just a small little
thing.
thing.
A little bit.
Right?
They're probably on YouTube.
We really have tried to resurrect the Mutual Omaha Wild Kingdom. So thank you.
Yeah.
I should have been plugging that already, but that was founded and started in 1963. And we had Marlon Perkins and Jim Fowler. Yeah. And now we have Dr. Ray and Peter Gross, who have resurrected that. It's on Saturday mornings on NBC.
Right.
So we always encourage people to go out and watch.
Yeah, get on there, Alphas. Don't forget, USA 250 Challenge. Get out there, clean up some beaches, police your cigarette butts, be good to your environment and your animals. We'll see you next time.
Stay frosty.
Hey everyone, we are here with Thaddeus Chris Figueroa from USAA. Not only from USAA, but a really good longtime friend of mine from back in the day when we both wore the uniform. Chris, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
I have a fellow Army veteran here. You were Army. Tell me a little bit about where you're from originally.
I am from Texas, so I am from San Marcos, Texas. It is between Austin and San Antonio. And went to Texas A&M.
Nice.
And that's, whoop, yeah.
From Texas, too.
Yeah. So that's where I commissioned, and that's where I learned about the military and became, actually joined the military in September 11th, 2001.
Oh, wow.
Really?
I was at
was that
on
coincidence
accident?
or was that
100%.
You commissioned?
I commissioned, but I did this program where you could join as a cadet.
Yeah.
You guys may have heard about this. Simultaneously Members SMP program.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, and I was a junior, and they took me to MEPS, and I was in Houston, and my birthday was September 10th.
Oh my gosh.
So
Still is.
But that was a special birthday because if you do the math, I had just turned 21.
What do they call that? A golden birthday? Is that a golden birthday?
21 on 21? No, that's 10 on 10.
No, yeah.
That's your golden year.
Oh, okay.
So
Golden birthday.
the night before I check into MEPS, I take the ASVAB, the 10th. I'm not able to drink. because I'm at the hotel the next morning.
Yeah.
What do they do at 3 o'clock in the morning? They do the breathalyzer, right?
Ooh.
Did you guys do that when you did MEPS? They did
I
the breathalyzer.
I did a duck walk.
Okay, I did the duck walk. So September 11th happens. I'm doing the duck walk in my like whitey tighties, and it's freaking cold.
Do you have any pictures?
Hey, don't use excuses, my friend.
No, just play it.
So I'm doing the duck walk, and all of a sudden, all the doctors leave. And when all the doctors leave, like they just leave us there like for 3 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Just standing there in your underwear?
Yeah, and it's freaking cold.
Oh, yeah.
It was so cold. So finally,
And a little awkward.
We gotta
Yeah.
watch the news. Of course, there's a lot of things going on though that you guys didn't know about at the time, right?
no, like so they come back and we go to lunch, and this is when they had the big TVs, like the big square TVs.
Yeah, like CRTs.
Yeah, there's a huge TV there in the MEPS area, and there's a payphone. No one knows what payphones are anymore. There's a payphone, and I call my wife, who's then my girlfriend, and she went to UT, so two different like rivalry schools. Anyway, I call her, and she's like, "Are you sure you want to do this? Because this could be a big thing." I'm like, "Well," I go, "No. I mean, our recruiter said we're fine."
How long could it last?
Our recruiter says like this is the greatest thing.
He wouldn't lie to me.
He's not gonna lie to me. So yeah, so out of all the hundreds of people in MEPS in Houston, only 7 people got pushed through that day.
Oh wow.
Because
Really? Of how many?
there were hundreds.
Oh,
And you had to do it sober.
Yeah, I had to do it sober. My 21st
And in your underwear.
21st birthday. So I raised my right hand. It was 7 people, but I pushed through because I'm like, hey, I have to go back to school.
Yeah.
I'm not coming back until like a few months if you can't get me in now. So they pushed us through.
Wow.
I turned 21 in airborne school.
Did you?
Yeah, in between like week 2 and 3, I was a cadet also. So between sophomore year and junior year, went out there and just had the time of my life.
Yeah.
Very opposite from your 21 experience.
Wait, did you have
Yeah.
to blow a breathalyzer as you were rigging for your first jump? You were
That's
like,
right. You had to be sober when you jumped out of the plane. That was the only thing.
Yeah.
I turned 21
I can't have a
working.
backsplash of vomit going out as you're jumping out of the door.
I turned 21 working as a bouncer in a bar. But when I went in, every time they did random drug testing, I got hit for random drug testing every single. It
Yeah.
was 3 times in a row. I did the math on
They're
it.
like,
It
look
was
at this
a
tweaker.
0.6% chance of me getting chosen. I think I was handpicked, and I get it. I get it. But
I
I've
just
never
wanted
even
to watch
been
you
drunk.
pee in a cup, buddy.
This is just all me.
What were the games?
I would have
like?
to watch them. Sorry.
What were the games like at Texas A&M in the cadet corps? Because
Oh.
we went to the Army Navy game last year. Legion's a title sponsor. USAA is a sponsor.
Yep.
The game was, I've never been to one. It was insane. But there's like a few college climates where it is just another level. And Kyle Field is one of those.
Is it?
Kyle Field is one of the largest stadiums in the country. And your junior year when you're in the Corps of Cadets there, you do March of Dimes. You're collecting money, right? You're fundraising. So we did a really good job. There's like 30 different outfits. And my senior year, my outfit was able to choose a home game that the seniors got to be like the officers on the field. So we get to go out there. We have our sabers. We have our boots, right? We're playing number 1 Oklahoma.
Oh.
So we just happened to get that game. Like, we didn't know they were going to be ranked number 1. We're on the field, and we're losing at halftime. We have this 5-star quarterback. Probably guys don't remember, Reggie McNeil. He came off the bench at halftime, and he had a miracle comeback, and we beat like the number 1 team in the nation.
Oh.
So I'm like on the field against the number 1 team, and it's going crazy. You see 110,000 people just like going crazy. That was probably one of the best moments of my life.
That's pretty wild.
Sorry, honey. I love you, but you'll never top that moment in my life.
That's incredible. I was at TCU, and we went to go play Oklahoma, and they were ranked number 5, and TCU beat them in Norman. And I was sitting in the student section wearing purple, trying to not get killed.
Yeah.
And that environment, great environment, pales in comparison to Kyle Field. That was one of the best experiences until I went to Army Navy last year. And I look up and I see 4 Apaches flying over the field as the Army runs out on the field. And then the Navy fighter jets fly over, and then Navy runs on the field. And then I look over, and there's the USAA banner and the American Legion, and then it's game time.
Yeah.
That was a lot of energy. I like it. So tell us how you got involved with USAA. Like what started that path? Because you served.
Yeah.
And how long were you in the Army?
So I was in from 2001. So my pay entry basic date, September 11th, 2001. And I exited around 2012.
I just want to say that I bet that plays hell on the whole Montgomery, where it's like if you're
Which
post
is
9/11,
it?
technically were you post or pre?
Date one.
I thought about this a lot, and there's so much respect for those individuals. I mean, all people who serve, everybody.
You go in,
respect. But if you went after September 11th, you knew there was a strong possibility that you would be deployed.
Yeah.
And I want to say I wasn't one of them. You heard my conversation. I was telling my wife, we're
That's
good.
not me.
But post 9/11, everybody signed up. They knew there was a possibility they were going to be deploying. But I'm sorry, your question again was?
No, I was just saying. So you spent how long in the military?
Okay.
And then you ended up.
Do you have a traumatic brain injury, Chris?
I forget.
Said everybody.
Am I supposed to laugh here? Like, what's happening?
So entered September 11, 2001. Did the cadet for a couple of years, commissioned. Then I went to grad school at Texas State, so San Marcos. Yep. Right after grad school, I postponed officer basic for a little while. So I got hired at USAA. My first week there, I got the orders for officer basic. So I left for a year. And then I came back to USAA. I was a claims adjuster. So I was claims adjusting my first 7 years at USAA. So I was on the phones. And
how's your telemarketer voice?
This is it right here. Thank you.
You don't hang up on a guy like that.
Thank you for calling USAA. This is Chris. How can I help you?
Nailed it.
I did that for 7 years. And let me tell you, I have so much respect for that job. That job is so difficult.
That's like grinding it, huh?
Yeah. Claims you're taking care of our members. You're taking care of those individuals that if our members are in an accident, you take care of them as well.
Well, you guys take care of members, and today was no different because I had the unique experience of coming home from testifying in front of the U.S. Senate, which that's another story for another time, but getting my house struck by lightning. The house didn't burn down. We basically isolated it to the pool pump. We come in this morning, catching up with Chris. Obviously, there's a relationship here. And Chris, you're welcome
to USAA.
Welcome to USAA. Yeah. We have claims adjusters here. No, but you guys have some folks here on site, at the conference, and being able to say, hey, if there's a need, make sure you let anybody know. Well, what happened? My house almost burned down. Lightning strike. We went over there. We went to the property claims adjuster, pulled up the app, helped me walk through, figure out what my deductible was, and then get my information and say, hey, let's just start going through this process together. Let's figure out what the next steps are. And, I've never had my house struck by lightning before. The fact that I would just walk in here and be here with you and have this, and I know that that's being met for every single person, whether you're at the convention or you're at home calling. But that was just a wild way to start the convention. And I'm already so grateful, calling my wife. She's smiling from ear to ear.
There's so much mission alignment between USAA and the American Legion. We're both about 100 years. We're both there taking care of veterans. Every single meeting that we have at USAA, we start with our mission. And our mission is to take care of those who serve. And that is the American Legion.
Well, that's you too. You as a veteran, and who can better relate to veterans than other veterans? So I think that's what's great about being part of that family. You're part of Post 2 in San Antonio?
I am.
Yeah?
Alamo Post.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Alphas, if you're ever in San Antonio, be sure to pop in and check out my favorite USAA employee and my best buddy, Chris, at American Legion Post 2. Chris, what's next on the horizon for you?
Right now, it's all about the kids and the family. Just, I got a 16-year-old.
They take over.
He's
driving. Did your rates go up? A 16-year-old.
My rates went up.
Yeah.
USAA, I love them, but they have to price accordingly. And when you have a 16-year-old boy,
and when you're teaching him how to drive, you go, "I get it, the USAA. I see what you're doing here. It makes sense."
we're practicing driving. We're in the high school parking lot. He's practicing pulling into a parking spot. Like, hey, right, put in reverse, let's try it again. Once he puts it in drive. He didn't hit anything, but you see why the rates are so high.
All right, Alphas. Make sure that you're driving insured. Make sure that your kids are covered. Don't get your house struck by lightning, but if you do, we've got you've got some good hands for you to help. Chris will be on that well, maybe not Chris, but Chris's successors. Chris, you're amazing.
Is there one thing I can tell you, all your listeners? You want
Yeah.
to make sure they know?
Oh, of course
Let's
not.
do this.
No,
Even
we're
2
done.
things if
Hey.
you need to.
The last couple of years, we've been able to take 2 individuals to the Super Bowl,
Oh.
right?
Nice.
This year, right now, we're doing a sweepstakes, and the sweepstakes gives you 2 flights for 2 people, 2 tickets to the Super Bowl. Last year, we were able to partner you up with a former NFL player, and there's a little bit of cash there too to kind of offset some of the
Costs.
costs and stuff. But
Did you say cash?
Yeah.
But wait.
So
Make it a cash tunnel, and I'm in.
and it's just great for. Last year we took 8 VSOs, 8 veteran service organizations.
Wow.
So it's great to see people happy at the Super Bowl with the player, and you get 3 nights at a hotel too. So it's a nice vacation.
That's nice.
All right, Alphas, stick around.
Going Alphas, Joe Worley here with my co-host Stacy and Adam, and we are here with LJ Posse, which is a fantastic last name. The kind of last name that if you marry her, you take the last name. Also a Marine, works with Sony. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, Joe. Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about, your service, if you will, if you want to share, and how you got involved with Sony.
Sure. I went in 1998 thinking
It was
that
a good year for music, at least.
I mean it was, and to that point, I was actually in the Marine Corps band, so everybody.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you play, or were you a singer?
All right, I definitely. There's no singers in the Marine Corps. There weren't then, at least.
Okay.
But I play the bassoon. So if you know what it is,
Interesting.
congratulations. You're one of very few. But
Bassoon's big.
yeah, it is, and not a marching instrument.
No,
so,
it is not.
I won't say what my real role was because I won't curse. But I definitely did not play a lot, and I got to do all the other things. I got to be like, I got to stand duty a lot.
Got it.
I got to do supply, training, admin, all of the things that weren't my actual MOS. And so I served for 4 years. Obviously, in those 4 years, 9/11 happened. Fun fact, my sisters were both in the Navy at the same time. My brother did not serve. So my mom had 3 girls in the service when 9/11 occurred.
Never let him live that down.
No,
Yeah,
never.
I was
never.
going to ask, how does your brother feel about that now?
No, so my brother actually was really interested in the service, but then all 3 of his older sisters joined, and that was it. It broke it for him.
Ruined it for him
Yeah,
forever. Okay,
forever.
Then
I'm
just
not
following.
doing it. They did it.
Yeah.
I gotta do something
Yeah,
else.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then I, like any good enlisted, I found a husband and got pregnant before I got out of the Marine Corps. And so,
Me
I hear husband hunting is the number one reason why women join the military.
I mean, absolutely, right? That was
I mean,
totally
I was
my
definitely on the
focus.
prowl.
Where were you stationed at?
At Miramar in San Diego.
Oh,
Yeah,
what
it
was
was
that?
the
I
third
hear
mom.
29 palms.
Beautiful.
A 5 is a 12. That's what I've always heard.
That's a little nicer than Fort Polk, Louisiana.
Yeah, a little bit nicer for sure. So I ended up traveling around the Marine Corps though still for another 15 years because he retired out. So
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're based in San Diego now? or
I
where are
am
you
not.
guys?
So
Okay.
Sony is based out of San Diego.
Oh, okay.
I have since moved on from that relationship, but I've moved around several times as well, and I'm now in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, in my
Ooh.
tiny little
Okay.
town of Danville.
Are we talking like east, west, central?
Central?
Okay.
Yeah.
Central, north
Farm
central.
country.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
beautiful.
much. It's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
And it's a more peaceful life,
Yes.
quieter life.
Slower life
Yeah.
for sure. And I'm not mad. And I travel a decent amount for work, so I get
Mm-hmm.
the balance of
Yeah.
Same. I'm living in rural Alabama.
both. Okay.
Our
LA.
chief crops are, LA, the different kind of LA.
Yeah, lower Alabama.
We do peanuts, we do soybeans,
Yeah.
we do corn and
Yeah.
cotton.
Oh,
That's
well,
it. And tomatoes.
do you go
Yeah.
pick?
No.
Okay.
But I send my children out into the field.
Yeah. Were you in the Air Force?
Army.
Okay, just checking.
It's called It's called delegation.
How did you end up with Sony? How did that happen?
Yeah, great question. So, my military network. So, I was the co-chair of the Military Affairs Advisory Council
What a mouthful.
for the North San Diego Business Chamber. Okay, so I stood up in a meeting and I
We
said,
need an acronym.
I
Start
know.
over.
I was just thinking that, Joe. I'm like, what acronym would that be?
NAMBLA.
oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. Rambla.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
So so I stood up in a meeting and I said, "Hi, I'm LJ. I'm job searching. I had closed a business that I had been running, and so I was like, I'm job searching." And a gentleman that was an executive at Sony came up to me and said, "Hey, I can't get you a job, but I can build your network." I was like, "Great." So he started setting up informational interviews for me. And I did 14 of them at Sony. I didn't think I could work for a large corporation like Sony. I thought like, I'm too much Marine. I want to do my own thing. I like a lot of autonomy. I don't know if I can do this. And they, with the informational interviews that I kept going, I just found that I loved the culture. And I thought it was really interesting in how people were able to like really innovate and choose what they wanted to do. So I started applying, and the second job I ended up getting. So, it was wonderful. I started as an Amazon account manager, where I was selling like TVs, projectors, things like that, to Amazon for Amazon stuff. And then last year I started this job where I'm the head of sales for over-the-counter hearing aids.
Wow.
So that's
Nice.
yeah.
I actually have a set. It's the CRE C20s.
Yes.
And I've been using them off and on. They work almost too good. For me, I get overstimulated.
Yes.
And so sometimes I'd rather I take them out, just go mute for a while.
Yeah.
And then when I need to talk to people, because being part of the podcast, I have to be able to hear. So
Sure.
being able to slip them in and out. And you don't even know you're wearing them. They're so tiny. Hey, full disclosure, I have hearing aids that I got issued from the VA.
Okay.
That literally I look like I stepped out from like the early, inventions of hearing aids.
Got it. Yeah.
But these are really slick.
So the discreetness of them. So I think that's the number one reason people buy them.
Yeah.
They're really discreet. They're sleek looking. Sleek looking, like you don't really see them for most
And
people.
if you do, they look like earbuds.
Yeah.
And honestly, for me, on my end of things, what I noticed was things that I didn't realize that I'd had a problem with, which people were talking to me, even from distance. It feels like I don't have to strain to hear them.
Yeah.
Which again, something I didn't realize I needed. And then number two, apparently there was a whole frequency that I wasn't really hearing anymore.
What?
Must be her
I'm
frequency.
gonna call the cops on you. You're gonna get the dogs all going now. But for me, it was so one of the biggest things that changed for me at home was I can hear my wife's aquarium, which is funny to me because normally that's something that I can only hear when I'm in a certain place. So there's been 10 times that I'm like, what's going on? Is it leaking or something? And there's just I can just actually hear it now.
Which is such a common experience with hearing aids in general. And Stacey, you can probably talk to that when you got your prescription hearing aids, that all of a sudden you're hearing things you've never heard before, or it's been so long since you heard it, essentially feels like you've never heard it.
Yeah, like my husband's bodily functions. I'm like, let me just take this hearing aid
Or my
out.
kids saying I love you.
For us, when I tried mine, my in-laws were over, so they got the opportunity to experience it, and it was real illuminating because they could see how much hearing loss they had and how much that they could benefit from something like
They could
this.
see it or they could hear.
They could see sound. It's like this, it's like a dolphin
They're
thing.
special.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Okay.
So, and also taste it, which some words you don't want to taste.
No.
Yeah. Speaking
Like
of
the
bodily
bodily
functions.
functions.
Yeah. No, so I think that's a really important point to note, that when prescription hearing aids, over-the-counter hearing aids, there's some period of adjustment. And basically your brain needs to learn how to reprioritize the sound. So we all hear the sound of our own voices. We all hear our footsteps. But our brains have said, I don't need to hear that so much. And the biggest way to get used to them is to continue to wear them. And so, but kind of like a workout progression in shorter periods of time to longer periods of time, and quieter environments to noisier environments, and kind of working out your brain in that way. People think that they're going to be like readers. They throw them on and all of a sudden they can hear exactly how they want to hear. And that's not how it works, unfortunately. It takes a little bit more time than that.
So let me ask you this. What is a use case for something like this? What is the point where someone goes, I don't know that issued hearing aids from the VA or whatever, or what I need, but this is something that seems to hit that pocket.
Sure. So in 2022, the FDA changed the regulation to allow for over-the-counter hearing aids for people with mild to moderate hearing loss.
Yeah.
So when that happened, what that means is people who turn up the TV more than everybody else.
Yeah.
The person who in quiet
Subtitles.
who in quiet environments really don't have any problems, but in loud environments do. So if they can't hear in quiet environments, they need to see a hearing care professional. Like it's the next level of it. We're all veterans. We all know that we were taught not to go to the doctor, right? You don't go to the doctor. So that person who's like, I am that person turning up, the sound a little bit more, or I'm that person who everybody's complaining about. It's usually our loved ones, right? Who figure it out for us.
Or hated ones, yeah.
Them too. But you might not listen to them as well. And so, so when you get to that point and you're like, I don't know if I'm really ready. One, Sony has a hearing assessment. It's free. You do not have to put your personal information in, which I love personally. You just go to the website, you put on some headphones, and you take the assessment. It'll tell you if you're red, yellow, green. If you're in that yellow, you're definitely a good candidate for this product. Again, if you're in that red, you do not want this product. You want to see a hearing care professional. You may even be in the green and have trouble in loud environments, and this could be a good product for you. So that's a really great way to start, to know if it's the right product. And then I think outside of that, if again your loved ones are nudging you, it's pretty cool. So it's a prescription grade hearing aid, as you guys probably have noticed, and it has a self-fitting function. So through the app, you download the app, you get a hearing assessment in each ear individually, which assigns a profile to each ear individually. They link together, and then within the app, you can fine tune and adjust. And it's kind of cool. I think the adjustments are great because they're qualitative. It's like things like, oh, the sound is too sharp. Like I hear things that are shocking me, and it'll go through, and like the optometrist will say, is this better or is this better? And so you can kind of keep adjusting them as many times as you need to get used to them too.
Yeah, I do like also that you can do the volume, and we mentioned, so we talked for a moment yesterday, and I mentioned that I wasn't wearing them here because I felt like it would be overwhelming to wear them in here. But actually, you said something. You said, well, really though, it still kind of works on what you're trying to hear as much as anything. And your brain generally does filter out the other stuff. So although I am hearing a little bit more, I'm hearing what I want to in a much more quality way. So like the conversations that I'm having, which is making me not yell as much. My throat feels better because I'm not like, hey, Stacy, how
we're crying less because you're not.
Well, there's also
coming
that
down on us so
frustration
hard.
that happens when, and we just had this happen on the floor, where somebody asked a question and we were like, what? And then they said it again. And we said, what? And then they said it again. And I think that even happens at home in conversation. So if you can reduce that frustration between communication, that would improve relationships altogether. So alphas, if you want to save your relationships,
these will save your marriage.
This
is all you need. This and have a baby.
Sonys, you know what I'm saying?
No, don't have a baby.
Lower your stress.
Lower everyone's stress, for the love of God. You know, it's so funny. My dad finally broke down and got hearing aids. My stepmom was the one who encouraged him. Yeah. She needs them more than he does. And she refuses to get them. So, Ann, this is for you. I'm calling you out. Go get yourself some Sonys, or you can borrow mine. I might be able to.
What are you doing, Ann?
Get yourself some Sonys.
What? Get with the program.
So, what's next on the horizon for Sony Hearing?
Yeah, so we have supported our military community throughout the year. Part of the reason I was so lucky to land this job is being a veteran and knowing our veteran community hearing loss. So we're going to continue to work with our veterans. If you are a veteran and you purchase on Sony.com through ID.me, you always get an additional discount. I would say most likely it's going to be 10% or more. And that includes on top of
so the MDX 6s that I've been eyeballing for a little while. That might be my way in.
Yeah, because it is not just for our hearing aids. It's for most products. You're getting 5% or more on most products.
Well,
at
I don't
Sony
go
Alpha.
anywhere without my Sony headphones. They're over there in my backpack right now.
Yeah.
30 minutes to an hour a day. Sometimes I just put them on and I leave them on just so I can block out.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the other side. Not trying to amplify. I'm trying to be more isolated.
Yeah.
Sony's also got a great product for that.
And protect your hearing.
Yeah.
You know, so those noise canceling headphones do a good job protecting your hearing. And that's very much what we're all about. So we're here. Actually, one of our swag giveaways is earplugs. We're almost out of them. But we say, hey, whatever hearing you have left, please protect it.
Yeah.
So, and that actually even goes to our headphones. I don't know if you've experienced this, but when you start listening too loud, the app that we have with our headphones will actually tell you that the decibels are high.
Don't tell me how to listen to my music app.
That's it.
I wear
It won't
earbuds
stop you from listening to it.
at concerts.
Yeah.
Because it gets rid of the boominess of the bass,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I can actually hear. Like I went and saw Tool in January last year. Humble brag. And it was amazing. It was just enough. The only one that overpowered it was Queens of the Stone Age. There's nothing you can do. They're going to stop your heart and get it going again. I've never been to a concert that felt like a fist fight like that. The earbuds did nothing. They broke me like a pony. This concert was crazy. I would definitely go back.
Of course, I have a yoga instructor who plays Tool when we do yoga.
Yeah.
It's great.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting, right? It's kind of fun.
I love them, though. I love music.
Well, we really appreciate you giving us your time, but also
Yeah.
introducing us to Sony Hearings
Yeah.
support. And for all you office out there struggling, don't struggle alone. Get yourself some support. In all seriousness, all joking aside, you want to take advantage of what you can hear for what's left of the good stuff.
Yeah, and if I may, too, I didn't point out that this actually does. There's a lot of link to hearing loss and dementia, depression, isolation, which be the one, right? So if you're struggling with your hearing, that could cause more of that. So if the mental health and the hearing side go together, so making sure that you get all of the interventions that you need to support with that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. All right, welcome back, Alphas. We're here with Matt from MilTrac, co-founder, Finding Success After the Military. But in order to find success after the military, you have to be in the military. You were in the Air Force. Tell us a little about your time in service. Spent some time in Italy, other exotic locations.
Oh yes, I did my first tour in Guam. I was a Northern Illinois boy, and it's like there's no snow on Christmas, and so I spent time in Guam. My first Christmas, then I went to California, Texas, Montana, and then that other exotic spot, Germany. I was with my British cousins in Germany for almost 4 years, and then I went to Lowry Air Force Base, which I absolutely loved. That's right in the halfway between Denver and Aurora, and I loved that community tremendously. And from there, I went to Naples, Italy, where I served on the NATO staff that did the first aspects of that hidden little war called Bosnia, and then came back to Lackland Air Force Base, where I worked for the hospital as a public affairs.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of sites, a lot of sounds, a lot of places. What was your role? What was your job while you were in the Air Force?
Public affairs. I started out as about halfway through my career, I was a newspaper editor. Then I got kicked upstairs to be a manager and supervisor, and so I enjoyed working with people and running a community relations program, one that was so well recognized that the mayor of Denver gave me my own proclamation on my last day at Lowry before I went to Naples, Italy. So yeah, I definitely love working with people in the community and telling the Air Force and military story to others. One of the things that I did that I'm very proud of is we did a mass enlistment ceremony with both the Denver Zephyrs and the Colorado Rockies, and the Marines would show up at, like, you say 6 o'clock showtime, they were 5:15. It's just great to see the various services interact with each other.
That's incredible. So tell us a little bit about how you transitioned yourself. And I'm sure at some point you saw the problem, which is why MilTrac exists. So tell us a little bit about you getting out of the military and having that, that time.
Let's be honest here. I got a divorce when I got out of the military because my transition wasn't successful. And so I remarried. I went back to school. I did everything I should have done while I was on active duty. And I saw the need for information given to people so that they could make a successful transition. And so 5 years ago, we founded the Military Transition Roundtable, which is a mastermind process for transition. So you bring people 6, 8 people all over the country through a Zoom call, and you can get, so what's going on with your transition? And people will talk about topics that are impacting their lives. We've had one case where the whole episode was talking about dealing with teenage children because they've been downrange for like a year. How do I readjust myself? What's the path to that? Or another topic is I'm going to get my end of tour medical visit. What should I say? And everyone in that group that time says, tell them everything. Everything. Do not be shy. Document it. I think the biggest thing that I've learned is there's just a dearth of information. And if I could say one thing to people who are listening to this podcast, it would be that if you know a young person in the military is doing 4 to 8 years, have them document everything in their medical records. Better yet, get in touch with their shipmates, wingmen, battle buddies, and say, when I fell down that ship, I didn't go to sick call. Can you document the pain I had? Because lots of times, we military guys, we like, it's just nothing.
Especially downrange.
Yeah.
100 things happen, and you move on. You've got a mission.
That's right. You have a mission, and it's the thing of it is that you've got to document that, because when you make your case with the VA for your disability claims, you've got to have the ability to document it. And sometimes you'll be able to capture that in your medical records. Now, I will say that the medical records today are much better than when I left the Air Force in 1997, and there's allegedly a crossover between the VA and military facility. But yeah, I would say that would be one of the biggest things I would suggest.
Look, there's so much information out there. There's so much lack of information that's transferred, from the military. There's so many resources. How does MilTrac, how do you guys kind of help bucket those resources and information? And what is the experience like for kind of a transitioning service member?
I think the biggest thing I would tell you, if you were to visit our website, you'll see information that's been vetted by a public affairs person who once told a 3-star general he was breaking the regulation in front of a whole bunch of officers. Here I was, a mere Air Force tech sergeant, but sir, you're wrong. And so I look for the policy, the guidance, for the information, so that people can make a successful transition from the branch of service. And everybody's got a different need. There's no one size fits all aspect of transition, and it's like you've got to be able to look at the information in such a way that you can look at it objectively. So I'm very objective, and I have my 37-year-old son Peter, who helps me with this, and he's a military brat. We're very objective about this. We're looking at this from the perspective of what don't you know, what should you know, as far as information that you can have. So if you look at our website, you'll see a whole section on transition, and the people that we have in these articles are people that I know or worked with through LinkedIn. There's a couple people, Meg Giuseppe. I don't know Meg Giuseppe. I've never met Meg Giuseppe, but I made a connection with her on LinkedIn, and I found that, we had something in common. And if you're looking at how to successfully transition from the military to a new role, you want to follow the advice that people like Meg Giuseppe put in.
People who've lived it
professionally. Lived it, hiring you, looking at ways to help you get hired. So that's one of the things that we do.
Well, as a native Texan, I can see Post 10 on your hat here. Tell us a little bit about Post 10, your involvement there, and how do they receive, MilTrac?
I got to be honest with you, I transferred to Post 592.
Okay.
Because it's closer to another mission of mine, which is the folks at Fort Sam. So I work with people in the med board at Fort Sam Houston, and so we help them with their transition. We talk to these young soldiers that are being discharged through mental health or other medical issues that help them make the adjustment to life after the military. So we teach them how to be, hey, you're a veteran. Well, I'm not. Oh, yes, you are a veteran. And here's the benefits you can get as a veteran. And one of the things that I do from time to time when I do this class, because it's interactive. These guys are interactive in a room, whereas the other groups are via Zoom. It's what do you know about this? And it's amazing. These guys are sitting there bored out of their skull and go, so why aren't you going back to school? Well,
that's a good question.
And yet there's 2 or 3 people in that group. Every time there's 1 or 2 people in that group that are doing that. So why don't you talk to that person and ask them how they did that, so that you can be successful. At least get your your basic education, like History of the World Part 1, math, those things, get it out of the way. Okay. And so we just help them see the advantages of being a
Well, everybody's got such a different journey, such a unique journey. I myself didn't really feel like I was, truly a veteran, at least not from the resources and benefits and information. And even until joining the podcast, like I've learned so much from my colleagues and from our guests being on here. So it's such a critical need. And it's going to meet somebody, where they're at. What's next for MilTrac? What's ahead for the future?
So right now we've got 3 or 4 small groups. We're going to teach people how to be effective in their use of LinkedIn. I probably get some people in the transition assistance program mad at me, but they believe that you should use AI to create a LinkedIn profile, and use to, especially for your brand. It's like, does that really convey what you are all about? What AI tells you?
And we see it now. I mean, we're at a point now where everybody is catching on to the language that it uses. It's hard as somebody who writes and reads as much as I do.
Wait, you read?
I try to. When it's
Breaking
written in
news,
crayon,
Alpha. Joe finally learned to read. He put down
in
eating the
pictures
crayons.
and colors.
Picture pages. Anyway, sorry.
I am constantly under attack by the people who claim to love me.
My
Breaking
love
news.
is sarcasm, and you know this.
It's her love language.
Okay, you read now?
I do read.
Okay.
And the thing is, though, is when you read a profile or a letter written by AI, it's unfortunate for people who write formally because it just looks fake now.
I just go in and throw in a few misspelled words.
Well, like the new real email that you get where you're like, okay, I'm going to read this is like, hey man, just checking in, and then you read that, you're like, okay, this is a real thing that I'm actually going to pay attention to. So it's like a hack. You almost have to be casual now in order to have a real conversation.
Yeah. Well, Matt, we appreciate what you're doing. Thank you for your service, first and foremost.
Yes.
And thank you for founding MilTrac. There's always, obviously, all the support we can get in that transition, which is one of the most difficult parts that any service member to veteran community can go through.
Can I say one more thing? I think
Absolutely.
that tell you that your people leaving the military should really engage with the American Legion posts in their communities, because it's, they need to stay in connection with their tribe. The Legion has a perception it's all about the bar and all that. It's not. It's about the community. And once they see that it is about a community that cares for them, that they're going to find it's a great value in that.
Well, couldn't have said it any better ourselves. Matt, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
What an absolute banger of an episode. That's got to be everything, right?
No, that's not. We got more. We got a whole nother episode coming next week from the 106, so stick around. You're not going to want to miss it.
See you then.